We hear a lot about China's tech boom, but what does that really look like on the ground, with hard numbers? Well, today, we're going to break down the official China Internet Development Report for 2025. We're going to dig into the key stats and the bold predictions that really define this massive tech leap. So, let's dive in.
I want to start with just one number. That's it, 60%. Now, what in the world could this possibly be? It's a single figure that honestly sets the stage for everything else we're about to talk about.
And here it is, that's 60%. That is China's share of all global AI patents. It's an absolutely staggering number, and it points to a pretty clear dominance in the ideas that are going to power our future. Everything from self-driving cars to medical AI. This isn't just about having a lot of ideas, it's about owning the blueprints for what comes next.
So that leads us straight into our first section here. We're really looking at the rise of a new patent superpower. And believe me, it is not just about AI.
And yeah, this leadership in patents goes way beyond artificial intelligence. As we start looking ahead to the next big thing in connectivity, 6G, China also holds the #1 spot in patent applications, with over 40% of the world's total. This really shows a strategic focus on controlling the foundational tech of the future.
But owning the ideas on paper is one thing. How do you actually bring them to life? Well, you need a digital foundation, and one built on a scale that's almost hard to imagine. In this next part, we're going to see the sheer size of the infrastructure that makes all this tech ambition a reality.
Let's start with the literal backbone of all of this. 4.5 million. That is how many 5G base stations have been installed all across the country. We're talking about a blanket of high-speed connectivity.
And that massive network? It supports over 1.1 billion 5G mobile users. That's a user base bigger than the populations of North America and Europe combined. Just think about that for a second.
And this connectivity goes right into the home. 684 million households now have fixed broadband. It's creating this comprehensive digital fabric that connects pretty much every part of society.
But it's not just about having more connections, it's about having better ones. A massive 834 million users, that's 3/4 of the country's entire internet population, are now on what's called IPv6. The easiest way to think about it is this. The old internet was like a 2-lane road. IPv6 is a superhighway with billions and billions of lanes, making it ready for a future packed with countless smart devices.
Okay, so you've got the patents and you've got this insane infrastructure. So what? What does that actually let you do? Well, it fuels a digital economy on an incredible scale, and it changes everything, from how people buy groceries to what they do in their free time.
Just take e-commerce. For 12 straight years, China has been the biggest online retail market on the planet. This isn't some new fad. This is what you'd call sustained digital dominance.
And who's doing all this shopping? 974 million online shoppers. That works out to nearly 9 out of every 10 internet users in the country. It just shows you how deeply woven online shopping is into daily life.
And it goes way beyond just shopping. The digital culture industry has absolutely exploded, hitting a scale of over 14 trillion yuan in revenue every year. Now that is a colossal number, so let's actually break down what that means.
This is where that huge number starts to feel real. It's fueled by all this new media, like micro-short dramas made for your phone, a booming Guzi economy, which is just a massive market for fan merchandise, plus things like virtual concerts, and of course huge digital gaming and publishing industries. Culture is literally being created and consumed at digital speed.
So the data tells one story, but what about the people actually driving all this change? Let's switch gears and listen to the vision shared by some top tech CEOs to get a sense of where they think all this is headed.
First up, this is a pretty bold, timestamp prediction from the founder of the e-commerce giant JD.com. He's not talking about some vague future here. He's saying a fully unmanned delivery station where robots do 90% of the work is going to launch in a matter of months. This is automation on a very real deadline.
You hear that exact same energy in the world of humanoid robotics. The CEO of Unitree Robotics sees AI as basically rocket fuel for the whole sector. He's promising more surprises in the very near future. You can just feel how quickly things are moving.
And here's where we get into what used to be science fiction. The CEO of BrainCo sees brain-computer interfaces moving out of the lab and into our daily lives. They're planning consumer products like sleep aids and weight management tools. It's all about applying this frontier tech to solve everyday problems.
So what is the next big frontier? Well, the report points to one more critical area of investment that kind of pulls everything we've seen together: patents, infrastructure, and that long-term ambition.
And that frontier is quantum computing. The industry there is on track to blow past 11.5 billion yuan with a growth rate of over 30% per year. That's a pretty clear signal of a major national focus on the next evolution of computing power.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, what's the big picture? It's really a three-part story. First, you have a dominant position in the patents for next-gen tech. Second, you've got this continent-sized digital infrastructure to roll it all out. And third, you have a very clear and ambitious vision from tech leaders for a highly automated, AI-driven future.
And all of that leaves us with one final question to think about. This data paints a really detailed picture of the landscape in 2025. But given this foundation, what currently unimaginable innovations and transformations might we see pop up by the time 2030 rolls around? Thanks for tuning in.